r/AskReddit. What only exists because of people's stupidity. The tag on the iron that says, "Do not iron clothes while wearing them." I'm late for work, but my shirt is too wrinkled. Let me just press the iron against myself. How bad could it be? No good, it's full of steam. I realize this is a Futurama quote, but I had a friend in college that this happened to. He put his shirt on, saw it was wrinkled, decided to quickly try to iron it out while wearing it. This is something he's done before in the past without issue. Unfortunately this time, the steam shot out and burned him pretty bad. He still made it to class, but he had a scar from it. This actually did happen to me. I had a job interview, running late and realized my collar was a bit wonky, so I ironed it while I was wearing it. I ended up with a V-shaped burn that only starting hurting during the interview. 10/10ths would not recommend. Got the job. The warning sticker on lawnmowers telling you not to touch the blades while they are in motion. Many warning labels in general. There are toilet brushes with warnings saying, "Not for personal hygiene" on them. Supposedly, I've never seen this personally, some snowblowers come with a warning label saying, "Do not use snowblower on roof." That means that some idiot hauled a snowblower up to the roof of his house, almost killed himself with it, and tried to sue the manufacturer for his own stupidity. I heard this is a decently way to chase settlements. Basically find things without warning labels, be done with them, then sue for your own stupidity. And that's why my jars of almonds say, "Warning, contains nuts." Do not place child in shopping bag. What if I'm bartering it? Fruit roll boxes that worn, remove plastic wrap before eating. You're supposed to remove those? Username checks out. In the user manual for RVs it specifies that the driver must remain in the driver's seat at all times when the RV is in motion, because someone thought that cruise control was autopilot and went to take a shower while on the freeway and crashed. If I remember right, part of their argument against the company was that the manual did not say he had to remain in the driver's seat when cruise control was being used. He fell asleep at the wheel, survived a terrible crash, cooked up this craziness with a lawyer, and won a lawsuit because the lawyer felt there was an opportunity because the owner's manual wasn't specific enough in the cruise control operation. All those drug commercials that tell you not to take said drug if you're allergic to it. Imagine knowing you're allergic to a drug and still taking it. I actually found out I'm allergic to penicillin on accident. I have been taking it whenever I end up getting sick for as long as I remember, but this last time I got hit with strep throat fairly hard. I was given 2 rounds of penicillin and ended up having a full body itchy as duck rash that lasted nearly 3 weeks before completely clearing up. It kicked my strep, but I looked like a walking finger painting experiment the way the rash covered me. Come to find out my dad became allergic in his early 20s just as I had. Told my doctor about the reaction and had allergy testing done, and I showed no reaction to penicillin. So it was assumed it was either the high amount of penicillin or something else weird. Caution, sharp plant, please do not eat. What the hell happened here? Have you ever seen food prices in airports? Do not open door in flight. I was recently on a flight where I was seated in the exit row, closest seat to the door. I felt the craziest, ongoing urge in flight to reach over and try to open that door. I'm not suicidal or homicidal, just had this crazy urge. I believe they call that the call of the void or l'appel du vide. I get the same thing when I'm driving and see those concrete highway dividers that start on an angle. I think to myself, I wonder just how bad things would be if I ramped my car off this at 100 km/h. I worked at Cabela's for years and they carry a product called the butt out, and it's a tool a hunter would use to remove the anus from a deer. On the back of the packaging in the bottom corner is a warning stating not for sexual use. I have so many questions now. Are they disposable, or can you remove the anus and use it again? How do you get the anus off of that thing? Does the anus just slide out of the deer, or do you have to pull really hard? Do all mammals have removable anuses? You can definitely use the anus again, just not in the same way. And pretty much anything has a removable anus, if you have the right tools. Warning labels telling you not to eat things that are not food. Warning, this battery is not a good source. Not by itself, no. But as part of this complete breakfast. The phrase, do not try this at home. But you know, that some idiot at home will indeed try this at home. Joke's on you, I will try this at the street, so I'm outside. Multi-level marketing, aka pyramid schemes. While we are on the topic, would you like to buy some Cutco brand knives? When I was a stupid teenager, I went for a job interview. Despite not having a resume at all, they immediately offered me a position. All I needed to do was buy $600 worth of knives and go door to door selling them. It was foolproof, and I was going to make so much money. Then, my father refused to let me take that job. I was so angry at him. How dare he? Of course, now I see how much of a scam it was, and how great it was that my father didn't let me fall into it. I also don't think the scam would work so well nowadays. Imagine sending a teenager door to door brandishing knives. I doubt my teenage son make it to 3 houses before the police grabbed him. Darwin Awards? You're not wrong. Warning labels on electric appliances warning you not to use them in a bathtub. It's actually pretty hard to get an electrical hit in a bathtub from a device. If all things are as they should be, yes. The all things being properly installed GFCIs, modern circuit breakers, etc. The reason we have rules that revolve around electricity when near water is that it is really duck-ine easy to get electrocuted because of water. Not if I shower with distilled water. I just knew the first comment to this would be some clever comment about distilled water. It takes a trivial amount of salt to counteract this idea and your body is covered in salt. Plus, distilled water can conduct electricity, just not very well. The ban on Kinder eggs in the US. Are people really stupid enough to swallow those eggs whole? Even if they didn't know about the toy, you can't possibly want to deep-throat a ducking egg, can you? Pretty sure that's just something that got rolled into a larger law about putting non-edible items into edible items. Sure, Kinder eggs aren't deadly, but the law was made to prevent someone from baking a small toy into a loaf of bread and selling it to kids. The labels on Superman costumes that say, wearing this does not enable you to fly. Shit. You thought as you decided to read the label of your new Superman costume while you're free falling off a 50-story roof and you can't seem to activate the flight function of your new gear. California's Prop 65. It says everything sold in California must have a label warning consumers that the product is made with ingredients/components known by the state of California to cause birth defects or cancer. Unless the seller can prove that the item does not contain such components. However, nobody can actually say if anything causes cancer or not. So if you sell something in California, you must either pay a laboratory to test everything in your product, then provide reports stating that each element does not cause cancer. Or you can buy a 1-cent sticker and slap it on your packaging. As a result, everything sold in California, everything, has that sticker on it. Because why wouldn't you just slap the sticker on? We voted for this. Warning may contain nuts. Warnings on packets of nuts. The ducking message on my in-dash display on my Honda Fit. Yes, I know I am responsible for the operation of this motor vehicle. Imagine the car not telling me that every time I start it, me getting in an accident, and suing Honda for not telling me that I'm responsible for the car I'm driving. Sorry man, my cool knife set didn't say I couldn't stab some 67 times with them, so I just had to do it. It's the manufacturer's fault for not telling me not to.